be pretty much a total stranger, and you can't appoint them. So it has to be other board members in the board of trustee that can actually appoint the protector. They have to be 18 years or older, and they actually have to accept their position as the protector in order for them to be the protector, because they're going to be serving as a fiduciary for
Mm.
the beneficiaries. So with that, they are considered independent contractors. They're going to be 1099 for serving as a protector.
Got it. Thank you.
All right, so I'm going to open up the floor for questions. So today we reviewed the family trust. So we went through every single paragraph in the private family trust. We set up our trust estate for our family. So I'm going to open up the floor for any questions on any information that we went over today. So please either raise your hand or go ahead and put it in the chat, but I am ready so that we could stay.
Question.
Go ahead. Go for it, Robert.
That last slide that you had, it wasn't in the document I had. Could you put that back up? The very last one talking about the officers.
Yes, absolutely. I'm gonna put it up right now. And I'm gonna also Aya, if you could send everyone the administrative contact information form, please.
So that form was separate than what needs to be in the private family trust, or it goes in there?
It's either or. So it's not a part of the trust.
Okay.
So, but I just put it all together in the document.
Okay.
So yeah, it's just a part of your records.
Okay.
Where did
I have a question, please.
oh my goodness. Hold on. I X'd out. Hold on one second. I'm gonna pull it up for Robert. Robert, you still need to see it, right?
Yes.
Okay, hold on for me one second because I X'd out. I don't know what I was thinking, or maybe I didn't. Hold on.
You like me, you got a billion windows open.
No, you know what? I've been doing good now. So let me count how many I have. 2, 4, 6, 8, 9. I have 11. That's not bad. Don't do me like that. All right, here we go. This is for Robert. So administrative contact information. So this is, if you want to copy and then paste and put like, treasurer, things like that, right? So whoever your GTM is, stuff like that. You want to just list all your officers, their position, their name, address, and phone number, and all of your co-trustees. So everyone that you have that's associated with the trust.
Okay.
Yeah, so Aya has Aya, can you put it in the chat? Let me see, is Aya here?
Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. Okay, let me see, let me get out of here. Technology is so funny. I don't know what I'll do with it, and I don't know what I'll do without it. So, let's see who's next. Okay, we have Christelle.
Yeah, so hi. My question
Hi.
has to do with taxation. How do you minimize, with the family trust, how would you minimize your taxes? Because that was my biggest thing.
Yeah. So anything that's associated with the family estate is can be a deduction, right?
Mm.
So for example, your mortgage, that's a deduction. Your insurance policies is a deduction. Your utility bills, because your trust is because your trust owns the asset, your utility bills is a deduction because it's an operating expense for the trust, right? So those are all deductions, right? So with this entity is designed for you to actually spend the money first. So you do your deductions and then you pay taxes on whatever is left over, right? So that's why everything that's associated with your family or everything that is an asset of the trust is a deduction. That's one. Two is donations, right? So we already have it embedded in the trust that there are going to be charitable contributions to other entities, right? So those other entities, the one that we want to identify is our faith-based organization that we're going to set up tomorrow, right? So now that will actually heavily reduce our taxes because we can we can donate to our charitable organization, okay? And that's that's a deduction already as well. And then from there, whatever distributions that you make, those are also deductions as well. So that's one way that we do it. And like I said earlier, the trust is required to file a 1041. Right? So you file a 1040, the trust files a 1041.
Okay. So follow-up question. So would you include your income from your job in the trust, family trust? Since or you
So
see what I mean?
your W-2 income is
Right.
that's personal and that's on your 1040.
Okay. Okay. So that's completely separate. Okay.
Correct. And if you are using your income from your job, right? If you're putting it into the trust, then you're going to record it as a loan and then you're going to receive it back, right? So you're going to put it into the trust tax-free and then you're going to take it out of the trust tax-free because it's going to be identified as a loan.
It's going to be identified as a loan. Okay. So
Mhm.
you wouldn't be getting, basically, I'm trying to figure out what was the connection. I mean, the tax connection between putting it as part of the included in the family trust. But it appears that there are no. You can't really get any tax deduction from that. I don't know. I see. This is a new terrain for me, so I don't familiar with all this stuff. You see what I
Um,
mean? Again, the purpose is
a
to
tax
reduce
deduction.
taxes. Would that
Okay.
be an
Okay.
advantage or not? Or no?
Okay. Okay. So it's not going to be for the family trust because it's
Okay.
a for-profit entity. So you can actually have a tax deduction if you put your W-2 income into the faith-based organization. So
Oh,
that's
okay.
so it depends on which trust you use, right? So it's
Got it.
not, so the strategy of you reducing your taxes on the personal side is only going to work when you are doing a charitable contribution to the nonprofit, okay?
Okay.
Um so that's the entity that we're going to create tomorrow. And what's going to happen is you can donate up to 60% of your annual gross income.
Mm,
So whatever your annual gross income is, you can donate it, right? Up to 60, 50, 40, whatever you decide, right? So let's just say you make, 100,000 and you want to donate 50 of it to the ministry trust, right? So then what's going to happen is now you can deduct that entire 50,000. So on your taxes on your 1040, instead of you being taxed on the 100,000, you're going to be taxed on 50,000. So that's what it sounds like you're looking for.
okay. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Yeah, I have a question. This is
Um,
Terry.
this is who?
Terry?
Okay, Terry, I'm going in line. Are you able to raise
I
your
have
hand?
to, yeah, I have to figure it out. I'll figure it out.
Okay, thank you, Terry. All right, next I have Vernon. Hey, Vernon, how are you?
Good morning.
Hi, good morning. Good afternoon. Where are you? Where are you?
I'm in Arkansas.
Arkansas. Okay, so
Yes.
it's 3 hours.
Yeah, so it's not noon yet.
Okay, awesome.
Almost.
Good
But
morning.
my question is if two people own 50% of the property, can you still put the property in a trust?
Yes, absolutely, but both parties need to agree to put the property. So let's just say it's you and a spouse, right? So
Mhm.
both individuals need to sign the deed to place that property into the trust. So if you're going to execute a quitclaim deed, then, then you and the other person both need to sign as the grantor of that quitclaim deed to gift it to the trust. And then now it'll be in the trust.
What if the property was willed by an ancestor?
Mm-hmm.
Then they willed the property between two well, like my sister's daughter and me, for instance.
Mm-hmm.
How would I go about uh putting that property in a trust, or can I put that property in a trust? And then deed the property, deed the property to her as a beneficiary after the trust has been but after the trust is completed, or I die or something.
Yeah, okay. So, um, you're saying if the property was wait, is it willed over? Like, is the property in probate, or what's the
No,
stuff?
no, it never went through probate. It just
Okay.
went through will, but it never went through the probate process.
Okay,
But
so who's on the deed? Is
me and her.
Okay, all right. So even though the property was willed over, or whatever the status of it was previously,
Right,
we're just gonna go based off of the current status, which is that there's two people that's on the deed, right?
right,
So it's those two people that need to sign over ownership from them, from those
hmm
individuals into the trust. So if you set up the trust and you're the
right,
trustee and you have the second individual as the beneficiary, and as long
right,
as that a beneficiary agrees, then that is okay, because a beneficiary can give property into a trust, and a trustee, grantor, or any outside people that are not even associated with the trust. So
okay,
it's still, able to able to happen.
okay. That was my question. Thank you.
Okay, you're welcome. Sounds good. Looks like you're in San Francisco.
Yeah, I like the background.
Yeah. All right. Next we have Ty. Hey Ty, how are you?
Good. How you doing?
Good,
So,
wonderful, splendid.
so I had a question. So if a person have their children as their beneficiary and they were gifted a property, but they wanted two other people to be the beneficiary of just that property only, how would I do that without them being beneficiaries to everything else that's in the trust? Without,
Oh, so they will still be beneficiaries to everything else that's inside of that particular trust. So you might have to do like an isolated situation where that one property goes into a separate trust that just has those people as the beneficiary. So you could do it that way, because ultimately, if they are in a beneficiary inside of a trust with other assets that you don't want them to have access to, unfortunately, they will have access to them. Yeah. And the only way that you could the only way that you could make it more distinct is by you putting it on the Schedule D, where it's like, hey, I want you to just have this one property, but there's no guarantee that will happen. It just depends on who the trustee is. So sometimes when that's the situation, it's best for you to create a separate trust for that one asset that they're associated with.
okay, okay. And then the last question, for someone to give you a property, how would they go about doing that? They would do a quick claim deed, you say?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So all they would have to do is a quick claim deed, and then they can deed over the property from their personal name into the trust.
Okay,
Yeah.
all right.
Yeah, and then
Thank you.
all you would have to do is an amendment to add that property into the trust, into the Schedule B.
Okay. All right, thank you.
You're so welcome, Ty. All right, next we have is it Ansi?
Yep, it's Annecy.
Annecy, hey, how are you?
I'm well. How are you?
I'm doing splendid.
All
Wonderful.
right. So, I have a couple of questions. I wrote them down. Um, First thing is, I have never gotten the chance to notarize the trust I did last year,
Mm-hmm.
and now I'm thinking about doing them sometimes either this week or next week. Uh, would that create a problem? Like we did them on in December. I think we did one in December and one in January.
Mm-hmm. So no, so your establishment date is separate from the day that you notarize it. So you establish the actual agreement or contract whenever, let's just say December, right? And you got it notarized 2-3 months later. So you can still go based off of your establishment date. So that's one way. So if you want to keep your original establishment date, you can, which is good. The notarization date is different, right? So that's why those lines are there so that they can fill out those dates when that when that notarization actually occurs. Or another thing you can do is you can, change the dates if you wanted to update it. So it's up to you. A lot of people sometimes they'll update it to whatever the current date is. So it's up to you, if you want to update it or leave it as original.
All right. So thank you. Second question is, what is the bare minimum of people we can have on a trust, and how many position can one person hold?
Okay, so the bare minimum, so your board of trustees, best practice is minimum of 3. So that would be you and 2 other people. And then you do need a grantor, so that's 4 individuals. And then you don't necessarily need beneficiaries. And then it's highly recommended that you have a successor. And the successor is an individual that is not currently a part of the board, and not a not not currently like a trustee, and not the grantor. So
Oh,
yeah, so that would be a total of 5 individuals that you would need.
okay. Can one person hold more than one position, or?
So the trustee can hold 2 positions. So the trustee can be a beneficiary and a trustee, but they can't be the only beneficiary. So that's one. And then the officers can only hold 1 position, so they can't be any other position other than an officer on the board. Same thing with the protectors, the grantors. The successor can be a beneficiary and a successor.
All right, cool. You said something about transferring properties to a trust. Um, so if you have one property, which trust would be best to put that property on?
It depends on the usage of the property. If it's your primary residence, then it should go inside of the family trust. If it's an investment property, you might want to consider putting it inside of the business trust. If you want to be qualified for property tax exemption, you want to put it in the faith-based organization.
Okay. I'm sorry, that's the one last question though. Um, when it comes to putting properties, you said that all we need is what you call it? Um
The quick claim deed?
a quick claim. Okay, quick claim deed. Okay.
Yeah, we're gonna do that on Friday.
On
So
Friday.
yeah, I provide you with the templates and then we're going to fill it out together on Friday.
Perfect. All right, that's all of my question.
All right,
Thank you.
perfect. You're welcome. Okay, let's see who we have next. We have Ms. Bay. Elania.
Hey, how you doing? Seems
Good.
like ever since I saw you last.
I know you look so beautiful. So I'm going
You
back
too.
to Texas
Uh-huh.
in June.
Okay, I'm gonna have to plan for it.
Yes, June 20th. I'm gonna be in Houston
Okay.
for like 3 days.
Okay.
So I hope to see you.
Yes, ma'am. I wanted to find how's everything going with what I sent?
Oh, everything is going good. So I'm gonna get it notarized and sent over to Flo.
Okay, cool. Yeah, she just texted me as a matter of fact. Hey,
Okay,
Flo.
where is she? She's here.
Yeah, she said
So
she
she's here.
was on there. But yeah, I don't have any questions basically. I just
Oh,
wanted to
okay.
let everybody know that you guys are in the right place if you're here for the first time, because you're going to, you know, even if she's going to do this over and over again, it's best to have it reiterated and seared into your mind, because it's going to help you to be able to maneuver and understand exactly what we're doing, you know, because I'm still learning. That's why I'm still here. I missed it yesterday because I had another conference call, Christine, but you know I don't miss it.
Yeah.
And I like being an affiliate. But I was going to share your information anyway because I think I believe in you. I know you you're just awesome.
Thank you so much, Miss Bay. I appreciate you so
You're
much.
welcome. Yes,
Yes.
ma'am. You're welcome. You're quite welcome.
Thank you. Yeah, so Miss Bay, she's been a part of the community since January, so she is awesome.
And
So
I'm working on the living trust now. I finally dissolved my two LLCs. They got, yeah, they New Mexico and Wyoming, they finally dissolved it, and I'm in good standing with them in case I need to go back. So
yeah.
that's a good thing. And so now I'm getting ready to do my EINs for the living trust and for the business trust. And
All
then
right.
that'll be on its way next.
Congratulations. I love it. I love it. And we're here to hold you accountable, my dear. So I'm gonna be
I'm trying.
yes. Thank you so much. Thank you. So I'll keep you updated with your documents, okay?
Okay, thank you, sweetheart. Take care
You're
of yourself.
welcome. You too. All right, perfect. Next we have Miss Deborah.
Hey, Christina.
Hi, how are you?
I see. I guess you got. I don't see anybody, so I'm assuming you got your little thingy on there. In your suit. I can't see you. Like I don't see you live right now for some reason.
You don't? Oh, not sure. Do you see yourself?
I see myself. Yes.
Okay. Do you see me now?
No, I just see you in the yellow suit. That's it. But it's okay. But my question was when you Chan, I know we need to get all of everything out of our names, basically. So my thing is about the expense, like your utilities and all this. Looked this up and studied about it a while back, and it was saying something like retitle accounts and whatnot. So you would take your name off of everything and put it into the trust name. Is that right?
Yes, that is absolutely correct. Yeah. So any asset that you're putting inside of the trust is now the financial responsibility of the trust. So all those utilities, the taxes, the mortgage, maintenance, anything like that, you want to now rename it into the trust, right? So you're going to contact that utility company, right? The water, the light, the internet bill, right? Even your cell phone company too. Like my cell phone, I'm with T-Mobile, it's in the name of the trust, right? So all you have to do is provide them with the name of the entity and the EIN, and they'll go ahead and make that transfer.
He took the words out of my mouth. I was gonna say, so I have to give them an EIN now. Now, which one of them would I give them? The business one?
So so it depends. So for example, with my cell phone, right? I consider it as business and not personal. So I have this under the business trust, right? But with my primary residence, it's family related. So all of my utility bills is under the family trust. So it depends on the usage of the of whatever it is.
Yeah, so that was some of my questions about that. As far as I knew I was supposed to try to get everything out of my social. So I was just really, which one of the EIN numbers I was.
Yes, okay, yeah. So like I said, yeah, so it depends. So we're gonna apply for the EINs together. So with that, let me just forewarn you guys that when we're applying for the EINs, you are gonna need the grantor's information, right? Because once we are applying for the EINs, the responsible party is the grantor, and so they want legal name and social for the grantor. So that's pretty much the only thing that you're going to need besides them actually signing the trust. So those are the two things. You need them to apply for the EIN. So if they don't feel comfortable with you receiving their social, just tell them to apply for the EIN for you and give you the EIN letter, okay? So that's one thing that you guys need to keep in mind. And then the other thing is that they have to notarize the trust, okay? So we're going to apply for the EINs together. Tomorrow we're going to do the faith-based organization. Thursday we'll do the business trust, and then Friday we'll do the family trust so that you guys can see what that process looks like. All right.
One more question. Do we rename anything to the nonprofit?
Yeah, so it's up to you. So if you want to, remember that whenever you are using the nonprofit, you qualify for, tax exemption. So if you want to be exempt from sales tax, if you want to be exempt from, city, county property, then you want to put assets in there. So for example, let's just say that you decided that your strategy was to put your primary residence into the nonprofit, then all of the utilities associated with that one property would be under the nonprofit.
What about if you're renting though?
Okay, well, renting, so obviously you don't own the property, so the only thing that would work is if you have the rental agreement be under the name of the trust, right? So you can do that. The trust has the power and authority to execute leases.
Okay. Thank you.
You're so welcome. So Ty said, thank you, Christina, for providing this. There's a lot of stuff in the chat. I'm so sorry. I haven't even gotten to the chat yet. I know Latoya had a question in the chat. Let me see who is next. Chanel, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm great.
I just have a quick question. So,
okay,
if we are purchasing a real estate property or a vehicle in the name of the trust, how do we show like proof of funds or credit worthiness, all that stuff, without giving that information to whomever we're purchasing it from?
Oh, okay. So remember when we said need to know information, right? So there's no real way for you to qualify for these loans or mortgages or things like that without, showing proof of income, right? And so there's two ways for you to do it, which is one, you providing bank statements showing that you have the income coming in, right? Or you can provide like a financial statement, like a profit and loss, that is put together by an accountant, which will show that you have the proof of income. Or the other way is the tax return for the trust, the 1041 tax return for the trust, showing that you have the income in order to purchase, the asset. So you do have to qualify in order to put it inside of the trust.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. All right. Next we have Terry.
Yes. So question, I'm considering putting my property in the ministry trust as opposed to the family trust for tax purposes, deduction purposes. The ministry trust, is it automatically tax deductions in place? Do I have to go through the stint of getting tax exempt? In other words, that ministry trust, when we form that, is it automatically tax benefit in place, or do we have to go another step and apply for a tax exemption like you do with the 501(c) or something like that?
Yeah, so that's a good question. So the ministry trust, because it's designated as a 508(c)(1)(a), it does not have to file for a 501(c)(3). So it's already a mandatory exception to not having to file. So you are already exempt. And then tomorrow when we go through the EIN process, I'll show you how we apply for it as an automatic tax exempt organization.
That's awesome. In terms of the tax, does that include property tax exemption?
So it's only federal from the IRS. You do qualify to be eligible to apply to be exempt from state tax, county tax, city tax, property tax, sales tax. So you have to apply for those. So with the 508, it's only you're exempt from federal. And that exemption is only for the donations that are coming in. If you have income over $5,000, then you do have to file. So whatever is coming into the organization, you want to do proper record keeping. If it is donations, right? Then you want to label them as donations. If it is income, then anything over 5,000, then you do have to file taxes.
So if I took my rental, let's say my rental is $12,000 a month, and I donated that to the faith-based, I would have to file anything over the 5,000, you're saying?
No, so if that income, so for example, if it's a rental property, right? And you have a faith-based organization, what you want to do is you want to have your member, you want to have your the individual who's inside of that property be a member of your faith-based organization, because anything that they're contributing as a donation to your FBO.
Okay, that's great. And is it possible to have all of these strategies that you're talking about, because they come up during the process? Like you said, you could make your family trust the beneficiary to the business. Well, is there a place we can put all those strategies in one place and we can pick and choose? Oh, this is good, just a strategy session. I guess we could listen to the whole thing, but it's really because you can pick up tidbits all along the way. You just can't, be dropping these really nuggets all along the way, but it's great though, but thanks.
Yeah, so everything is going to be inside of the course. Your course is the holy grail. So I'm going to be adding more things to the course. I just added an operations manager to my organization. So she's going to free up my time so that I'm able to do more recordings and produce more guides for you guys. So the beautiful thing about this community is that you have lifetime access. So every single time, like what we're just discussing right now about real estate strategies for investors, right? I have been intending to make a video and a guide for you guys because we have a lot of real estate investors, but I didn't have the time to. So now that I have an operations manager, she's going to run the business, and now I'm going to be able to put more into the online platform for you guys so that it is centralized. So you're like, okay, let's go to the strategy list and start just applying all this stuff, right? Just like what I was talking about with crypto, right? There's a
Right.
couple of crypto people here, and so they're like, okay, what's the strategy with crypto, right?
Well, I
So
just want to say you're doing an amazing job. Thank you so
Yes.
much for all
thank you.
the value that you bring is just enormous, and it could only be measured by eternity. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Terry. I appreciate that. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
So the real estate property you were saying, okay, because I'm trying to get into getting property, and or maybe having something already, like a large building for to provide shelter for the less fortunate, like the battered women, veterans, things of that nature. So yeah, I would be definitely interested in that. The real estate property that that
Yeah.
may exist. Yeah, that
Yeah.
sounds wonderful.
And
That
what
would go that would go with the non-tax exempt.
Yep, the tax exempt, exactly.
Right.
And so with the tax exempt, what I want you guys to know is that you can only qualify for tax exemption for one property that you have in that trust, okay? So just keep that in mind. Another thing is that I'm going to be bringing other professionals inside of the community to be teaching you guys. So I'm going to be bringing in real estate investors to come in and do sessions with us. On Thursday, we're going to have our funding specialist come in and do a session with us. On Friday, we're going to have our insurance partner come in and do a session with us. So we're going to have all of these, different people in the industry that will be able to tap in with the community and provide, their strategies and stuff like that. So like one of my associates, he has like $30 million worth of assets. And so he's going to be coming in. We're working on our schedule so that he can come in and pour into the community to let us know. So let's see. Any other questions? Ancy has a question. Did I say your name right, Ancy?
It's okay. Annecy.
Annecy.
Yeah, it's okay. It's all right.
I like your background.
Thank you. Thank you. I think I missed something from last year. Because I was just hearing it. It's a good thing that I came in today. Because I've seen you guys kept sending the text. I'm like, oh, I'll come in some other time. But then I just heard this last part. You said that the grantor has to be the one to sign the to notarize the trust, but he
Yeah.
also have to use his social. I didn't know that. I use my social to open all of my all of the trust. Now, what do I do now?
Oh, so you applied for the EIN with your social?
Correct.
Okay, that's absolutely fine. So all you have to do is just fill out the 8820, and you can leave it as is, right? You can leave it the way that it is. It's not a problem. The only issue is that on record with the IRS, it appears that you are the grantor and the trustee. So if you want to correct it, then all you have to do is fill out the 8822B
Let me
on
write that down.
on the IRS, and then all you have to do is fill out where it says responsible party, put their name and social, and send it off to the IRS, and they'll update it, and that's it.
So that's how they transfer those businesses. All
Yeah.
right, I just learned something new today. Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome.
And you really are doing an awesome job, really. I've learned a lot from you guys. So
Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you for being a part of the community. And
of
I
course.
haven't seen you in a while, and so now I'm so glad to see your face again.
I'm
Okay.
renovating my house.
Yeah,
So
I
that's what
I
I'm
see
working
the
on right now. So I'm
staircase.
trying to finish it. Yeah. That's
Looks
not the house
good.
though. That's the plan for the future.
Yeah,
So,
it looks good. It
yeah.
looks good. Love it, love it, love it. We're speaking it into existence. It's coming into fruition.
That's
All right,
right.
let me check the chat for those who are not able to answer their hands, and then we will wrap up the session because I have something starting in 15 minutes. So let's see. So Latoya said, what if you have a spouse that wants to see their name on the indenture section on page 2? Can it be modified? Yeah, so I mean, so it's not necessary, but if your spouse wants to, then go ahead and just label it as a trustee or a co-trustee and then put their name so that they can have their signature there. So, would that be an issue? No, it's not an issue. So let's see. Let's see here. Who so the recordings are going to be in the online portal. If you don't have access to your login credentials, please text the phone number or email us, and then we will resend you your login credentials or the link so that you can reset your password. And let's see.
Yeah, I need it to be resent because I get so many emails, I lose it. I can't find the login credentials. Yeah, if you guys could do that, that would be amazing.
Yes. Okay. So
One last question before you go, because I didn't even ask the question I wanted to ask. I just kind of heard it and I'm like, okay, let me ask that question. But the thing is, I'm thinking about going into real estate and buying properties and whatnot. I don't know if anybody knows this, but this is a piece of information I've received. And I think it's in Baltimore. They're selling houses for $3,000.
wow.
Yeah, so they selling properties for $3,000 and the
Like right now, like
yeah,
today,
right. They
tomorrow,
starting in July. And for
so July,
investors,
like in the future, July, like
this coming July. So right now they selling properties for $1 to people that's like first time home buyers. And for the investors, it's $3,000. And what you need to have is at least $92,000 for renovation. If you can show that you have that amount, it can be in any type of form. And you can buy as many as up to 10 houses in Baltimore, as long as you can get them renovated in 12 months. I have a piece of information. I can send that to the link for you guys if you guys are interested. Do you
yeah.
mind?
Yeah, can you send it where are you gonna put it? Can you send it to my email and then I'll have Aya and Dana like put it in the community so that everybody can
I
get
can
that
definitely do that. I
resource.
will send you the link.
Okay.
I don't know if I have your email,
Yeah,
but
it's
I think that's one way to own a property. I already have a property, so I'm gonna be filling the investors and also tell people that they don't really need to live
there.
in Baltimore. They can just make the resident address in Baltimore and still live wherever they live to get the house for $1. So that's one of the things that they can do. If I get your email, I will go ahead and email those information to you from the
Okay.
Baltimore website.
I'm gonna put it in the chat, okay?
I still didn't ask my question.
Oh,
I'm so
okay.
sorry.
No,
Um,
that's a good information.
Yeah, so basically the question I had is, since I'm trying to go into real estate buying properties, because I'm getting into this program where you can buy like 30 unit properties. If I wanted to get like a trust, do I need to get a different trust just in case if I want to go public with that company, or should I just put it under the same business trust?
Oh yeah, that's a good question. So if you want, so I highly recommend that you have one business trust for the public and one for the private, right? So you want to have two. So your private one could be like your holding company and your public one could be the one that you're actually conducting business with and that you are, doing what it is that you intend on doing. So yes, definitely.
So would I don't know if a trust can own another trust. Is that even a thing?
So I mean, so your trust can hold a position. So your trust can be the trustee of the other trust, or your trust can be the beneficiary. So
Perfect.
it's not the owner because nobody owns the trust.
Beautiful. All right.
Um,
Thank you so much.
you're
Appreciate it.
welcome. You're welcome.
All right.
Yeah, so Seven said he's interested in the information. So if you email it to me, then I'll blast it to everybody. You could also put it in the chat, but we only have 28 people here, so I want to send it to the rest of the community. So our community is almost 450 people. So thank you so much. Oh, you're on mute. I can't hear you.
All right, let me go ahead and send it to you guys on the chat right now. All right,
Okay.
just give me 1 second. I just gotta grab
Okay.
it.
So I have two questions here. So James said, can the grantor be the same person for all three trusts? Absolutely. All three trusts are separate entities, and the grantor can serve as the grantor for each individual entity, which is all three trusts. Yes. The next question is regarding yesterday's class. If we choose another state other than where we live, does the virtual address have to be in that state? So so whatever your residency for the trust is, the address should be consistent with the residency. So if you're choosing another state, so for example, I had students in our community that they lived in New York, but they were moving to North Carolina within 6 months. So they chose the residency of the trust in North Carolina and the virtual address in North Carolina. So your virtual address should be consistent with whatever the domicile of the trust is, okay? And then so Annecy put it in the chat. BaltimoreCity.gov. Love it. All right, perfect. So
I just emailed it to you as well, so
thank
you should
you.
check it. You'll find it.
Perfect. Thank you. Thank you. We really appreciate you being a resource. And this is the phenomenal thing about this community is that we have individuals like Annecy who are, providing resources that we didn't even know. I don't know nothing about Baltimore, but can I be a real estate investor in Baltimore? Yes. He's also doing the same thing, right? And so us actually coming together and networking with like-minded individuals within our community, and that they are also trustees and operating within trust and, owning these assets, securing them and everything with their trust is absolutely phenomenal and next level, right? And so our community right now is 450 people and it is absolutely growing, right? So, what we're going to be doing next is we're going to be launching our Telegram. So we should have our Telegram up and running within the next week or two. And but we do have our private Facebook group with over 300 of the 450 people. So because not everyone is on Facebook, we're also going to not move, but we're also going to include Telegram so that we can be able to chat back and forth, and we can have channels like investing and funding and and different Q&A and things like that. Okay. So us as a community, we are evolving, and I just want to say thank you to everyone that's on this workshop. So thank you for taking that leap of faith. Thank you guys for, being a part of the community. Thank you for, being the generational curse breaker, right? Because that is you. You are that. You are breaking generational curses because now it starts with you. You are the first trustee in the family trust that you're creating, right? And then now you're going to pass that along to your family, to your children, right? So you guys are doing the most powerful thing ever because you're changing the trajectory of your family, and that's going to affect 5, 6, 7 generations down the line. So, I commend you for doing what you're doing and being a part of, this community and taking action and deciding to not let fear hold you back, and deciding to, to say, hey, let me learn a little bit more about a trust. Hey, let me set up my estate before the state does it for me, right? So this is phenomenal. So we're going to wrap up our session. Today was phenomenal. We went through the family trust. We went and set it up. We had a good Q&A session. So what I want to do is I do want to give some homework to you guys, right? Because we're in this topic of breaking generational curses, right? And so one, I highly encourage you guys to get into the Facebook community if you're not in the Facebook community. We are highly engaged in the Facebook community. So if you didn't get a chance to introduce yourself yesterday, please introduce yourself. And then today, what I want you guys to do is post and let us know why you decided to be a trustee, right? You are a generational curse breaker. Why did you decide to move forward and start introducing this into your family and you actually becoming that founder trustee in your family? And now, you know, you're going to train your children to be trustees, right? So post and let us know why you decided to be a become a trustee. We want to know. So with that being said, I will see you guys tomorrow. Tomorrow at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, you will receive an email. And the email is going to have the Zoom link as well as the resources that you're going to need for tomorrow. So tomorrow we are going to be setting up our faith-based organization. We're going to apply for our EIN. So tomorrow you don't need the grantor's personal information, but for Thursday and Friday you would. Or like I said, just have them apply for the EIN for you. And then, you know, they can download that form and send it over. And so, and then we're going to, lastly, I'll show you guys how to become ordained ministers if that's a route that you want to take for your faith-based organization, okay? So that's what we will be doing tomorrow. So you are going to be receiving the resources, the reminders, and the Zoom links for tomorrow. So everybody, God bless you. Have an amazing day. We are going to have a Q&A session tonight at 6 p.m. So if you have any additional questions, then jump in Zoom. It's going to be a different link. So you're going to get the text message. So jump in Zoom. If you have any additional questions, I'll see you tonight at 6 p.m. for our Q&A, our regular Q&A session. So have a good evening, everybody. And I will see you here tomorrow at 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. All right. Bye.